What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Meesh West Coast, and we are back with another episode of Spill It with Meesh. Season 3, we are diving into really understanding ourselves, right? Understanding relationships, understanding things that no longer deserve our energy or no longer fit our purpose. So, y'all read today's episode, Love or Trauma Bond, and how to tell the difference. So we're breaking down the difference between real love and attachments rooted in pain. So we are going to throw that word love, and we are going to kind of like hold it, and we're going to kind of like keep it in our hand a little bit, because have you ever given a kid something and like they hold on to it, and then like something happens that kind of transforms their attention, and now their attention has caused them to let go of that item? That's what we're going to do with the word love. We are going to hold it in our hand, and when something else has our intention, we're going to kind of open our hand a little bit and kind of maybe leave it, because I feel like we kind of use that word a little too loosely when it comes down to certain situations or certain relationships. But let's be real, a lot of us are just trauma bonding. It's not even love, it's trauma. So again, tonight's episode, Love or Trauma Bonding and How to Tell the Difference, is all about recognizing whether that deep connection you feel is real love or trauma bonding. Because sometimes things that feel deep rooted don't always mean healthy. So, cousin, don't be a little blind to that. So, since we are talking about detoxing from toxic love, tonight's sip of the episode is the Love Detox. So this drink is bold, refreshing, and full of antioxidants, just because we're cleansing our spirit but not clouding our judgment. So let's make it before we dive into our episode. So here, y'all know I brought out my shaker baker, and we have our glass that we're gonna use. I've already put ice in the glass. So here we have our drink. So we have about 3.5 ounces of hibiscus tea. I'm only gonna use about 2.5 ounces of it. And we have our pomegranate juice, 100% pomegranate juice, okay? And we're gonna pour in all 4 ounces of that. I don't know what this is, I'm sorry. So we got the pomegranate juice, the hibiscus, and I think that was, the wine. Okay, sorry. I have Taylor Port wine as well, sorry. And then I've got some grenadine, just so we keep our color. I like to keep things rich. And I also like the flavor of grenadine, but I don't know if that's just me. So I want to kind of give her a stir already. And then I wanted to kind of mix in and chill. We've got some coconut water. I'm not going to pour a lot. I have about 3 ounces of coconut water, and I've got some lemon juice. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. So a lot of people will make a face about coconut water, but lemon juice or fresh limes will counteract the taste and really make this a really refreshing drink for you. So first thing in the morning, the best thing to drink is 100% coconut water and 100% key lime, like slices. Like, go ahead and let it infuse, or you can go ahead and squeeze it in. But that's the best thing to refresh and rehydrate your body with in the morning. I have a little bit of honey. And I am going to go ahead and add that into my glass already. And then I'll add a little bit into my shaker, just to kind of sweeten that out. And we are going to shake that coconut water and that lime juice. And it's gonna make a mess. So cousins, make sure you have that lid on that shaker correctly, or you will be spilling it with your cousin Meesh. Okay? So just make sure the inside of the seal is 100% in the shaker. Sometimes it takes a couple tries to get it on. So shake what you got in them jeans. Then grab the wall and shake it like a dog. Shake what you got in them jeans. Then grab the wall and shake it like a dog. So I'm going to just kind of release that. And this is that coconut water, that lime, and a little bit of honey. So we are going to pour her down over. Just to the top. Just to the top. And we are going to garnish her with some pomegranate seeds on top. It wouldn't be Spill It With Meesh if we didn't spill something, right? So go ahead and just add those. Give her a twirl. Ooh, cousin, she's good. She's really good, cousins. So that's the love detox, okay? I will have that in my highlights on Instagram. I will also post it as a reel so that you guys can make it as well, okay? So, again, this was hibiscus tea, pomegranate juice, coconut water, fresh lime juice, honey, and to garnish pomegranate seeds, and then I threw in some Taylor port to jazz her up, okay? You can keep it a mocktail by not adding in the Taylor port, but if you want to go ahead and transform it into an alcoholic beverage, go ahead and throw in a red wine. So what's in your cup, right? So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Once I mistook chaos for passion, I thought love meant like I argue with you, I fight with you just because we decided we're going to be in this relationship. I just ultimately always felt like I should not just give up, right? But sometimes that can turn into toxicity. Once I honestly understood that arguing, blocking, unblocking, fighting, and making up was toxic, I had to have that conversation with myself like, Meesh, this is not love. This is not, you do not love this person. This person does not love you if this is the situations you guys are putting yourself in. Neither one of you honestly love one another. We may have love for one another, but we don't love each other, putting each other through these situations. So I had to ask myself, do I love this person, or do I just feel connected to them because we've both been hurt, or because we're both hurting one another? Cousin, be real with yourself. Have you ever stayed in a situation just because it felt too deep, or you couldn't leave, or you felt like you couldn't leave, or you weren't ready to talk about it? I've been there, cousin. It's okay. Sometimes we have to have these conversations to help us understand that what we are actually doing is bonding over trauma, and this is not really love. This person may be a little bit more desirable beyond being with me. Cousins, sometimes we have to have that real conversation with ourselves. Like, this person might thrive better without me. I might be the toxic person here, and that is okay. That's okay. So let's break this down a little bit further, because some of you guys really need to hear this, and some of you guys need to maybe reference scenarios of these situations. So here we are. So this is going to be called trauma bonding, or love. So love is supposed to be safe. Bonding is survival. If the relationship feels like you're constantly proving yourself, or you're walking on eggshells, or needing to kind of provide validation for each other's frustration, that's not love. Love is supposed to help you grow. Trauma bonding keeps you stuck. Real love makes you better. Trauma bonds keep you cycling through the same toxic patterns. Love is peaceful. Trauma bonding is highs and lows, mostly lows. If one day it's amazing and the next day it's unbearable, that is not passion, that is trauma, that is dysfunction. If your love life feels like a battlefield more than a blessing, it may be time to wake up, cousin. Like, it may be time to have that conversation with yourself that you no longer want to keep cycling this. And I'm not telling you, like, leave the situation. I'm not telling you any of that, but I'm telling you, if it no longer is serving you, if you're starting to really understand that this might be a little toxic, or you are a little fearful for where you guys are going in the future, cousin, what are we talking about? Move around. It's okay. It's okay. Cousin, we're about to go into the summer. We're about to go into cousin link-ups, okay? Like, you don't have to be alone. I'm here. Your favorite cousin is here, okay? Hit me up. If you need to cry, if you need to scream, if you need to just have somebody listen to you, not necessarily say anything, but just listen. Hit me up, cousin. In the comments, in the DMs, wherever you need to find me, get with me. You're not alone, okay? So, I have a game. Y'all know I love a game. So, it's time for messy steps. So, we are going to throw out some scenarios and you tell me, is this real love or is this trauma bonding, okay? So, scenario 1. You feel like you can't breathe without this person even when they mistreat you. Is that love or trauma bonding? If you're even confused, I don't even know why it took that long. I'm here to tell you you're trauma bonding, okay, cousin? That's not love. Don't ever feel like that is love, okay? Another scenario of this is like you about to go out with your friends and your person tells you they don't want you to go out when they knew already you were about to go out. That's not love. That's not cute. That's not him wanting to spend time. That's traumatic, okay? He shouldn't have waited to the last minute to tell you. Get your cutest shit on and go outside, okay? Don't forget that. Get your cutest shit on and go outside. It shouldn't have took to the last minute for your person to see. He probably didn't want you to go out, or he wanted to spend time with you and didn't speak up. There's a difference. Scenario 2, you challenge each other to grow and you communicate openly and you feel safe. Is that love or trauma bonding? That is actually love. My partner and I challenge each other in growth, okay? Him and I both set out to start a tech career. We both were in different fields of the tech career, but we both motivated each other beyond that to ultimately get to the point of progressing in our tech careers. Now, I've taken the path of entrepreneurship. He's following his path to tech career. So, I support him, he supports me. We ultimately know that we have a grander goal at the end of all of this. That is love. That is progression. That is starting a future together. Once you start to put these elements into place, you understand where love is, and love is supposed to grow. Love is supposed to thrive. You guys are supposed to get to next heights with love, okay? You're not supposed to feel stuck. That is trauma. Don't forget it, cousin. So scenario 3, the relationship is toxic, but the makeup moments are intense and you stay. That's toxic, cousin. That's just like him having great, you know what I'm saying? Between the legs, the male sexual parts. And that's the only reason you even stay. You guys fight, you guys argue, you guys do everything, but then you guys make up in sex. That's toxic. That's not love. That is toxicity. Okay? Because I know, you know what I'm saying? I know this might be a little eye-opening to a couple of us. But, yeah, the sex shouldn't make you stay. Ultimately, how you're treated should be the awakening factor here. Okay? Don't feel blind there. So, scenario 4. You are only comfortable in chaos. When things are peaceful, you start drama just to feel something. Is that love or trauma? Cousins, I've been there. The relationship going too good, I'm like, let me shake this shit up. I can't handle this. It's boring. Trauma. Okay? We have to heal. We have to heal. And if we're not healing, we will never get to the point where we're even able to say those types of sentences out loud. Okay? Don't get there, cousin. We are not getting stuck in our toxic ways. We are growing. We are improving ourselves, okay? Year of intention. Don't forget that. Just because we're in season 3 don't mean we forgot the ultimate goal of the year, intention. Don't forget it. So, these are going to be some of the key takeaways of tonight's episode. So we should never feel like a trauma response is love, okay? We need to get that type of understanding up front. If we are going to be successful, we have to remove these toxic factors. We have to remove trauma bonding with individuals, because that no longer is serving the future we are headed towards, okay? Don't forget that you are not going to be successful staying comfortable or staying stuck. So if it's a person, if it's a vibe, it's a relationship, and you are staying stagnant and you are no longer growing, you might need to reassess what's happening there. Because then it honestly might be you. Don't forget that one. So again, love should make you feel safe and not anxious. It should not raise anxiety. You should not feel... I used to break out in hives. Okay? If you're getting hives on behalf of a person, remove them. Okay? If you are getting anxious, you feel like you're holding your breath, you don't understand where your shoulders are up to here or that you're holding your breath, remove the person. Okay? You can only care deeply for a person, and you can still recognize that they're not good for you, okay? So you understanding that that person is not good for you could be beneficial to the both of you. At the end of the day, real love is peaceful. Dysfunction is not passion. So don't ever forget that. So I asked a few of you guys on Instagram, have you ever mistaken a trauma bond for love? And this is what you guys had to say. You can care deeply for someone and still recognize that they're not good for you. At the end of the day, real love is passion. Dysfunction is not. And so don't get that twisted, cousin. Be real with yourself. Are we trauma bonding, or is this love? Okay? Don't play. So I asked a few of you guys on Instagram, have you ever mistaken a trauma bond for love? And this is what a few of you guys actually had to say. So someone said, I stayed for years because I deeply thought pain meant love. And cousin, you're not alone. I also thought pain meant love. Like, if I work hard at this, if we're hurting each other and we still choose to be with one another, this is love. This has to be love. That's trauma. And that's a bond that we've created over trauma. Not necessarily that we're bonding over prior traumas, but we're bonding over the trauma that we have now thrown into this relationship, and now this is how we're thriving. Toxic. One of us has to wake up and say we deserve better. And sometimes the other person might take that negatively, and that's okay, because you have to stand in where you are in growth and where you are in empowerment to understand, like, I don't want to keep cycling this. If I have to be the bad person, so be it. Be the bad person, but walk away. Like, give yourself that type of reassurance and that self-love within to help you understand, like, I can venture outside of this and it's going to be okay, or I can find myself outside of this and it's going to be okay. So another person said, when I finally experienced healthy love, I realized how toxic my past relationships were. Cousins, that hit home so much, because I'm in a relationship now that is not toxic. So I've actually had to remove my toxic ways and come to the realization that I had toxic ways because this relationship is not toxic. So now I no longer, in the beginning, I didn't know how to thrive in this relationship because it was not built off toxicity. It wasn't built off trauma. This was built off progression and future plans. And so I had to really unlearn a lot of my traumatic behaviors to really be able to thrive in this one. So another one said, if you are always in a fight or flight, that's not love, and I learned to learn the hard way. Everything for me has always been fight or flight because that is what I was used to in a relationship. All I knew is either crash out, and that means saving it, or just walk away. And a lot of the times we're not ready to just walk away. We want to feel like we're fighting for it, or we're still fighting for the person, but really we're fighting for the trauma. And sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow. So this is why we're having this conversation, because we all deserve real love. Not just a familiar struggle. Like, a lot of us are not living in our struggles anymore. We are not post-COVID. We are not during COVID. A lot of that is not the same. A lot of us are well under the awareness of understanding that trauma probably came from how we were raised or what we seen our parents go through. We don't have to do that anymore. There's ways out. There's ways of just saying, like, waking up and saying, like, I don't want to be that in a relationship. I don't want to be this person in a relationship anymore. And now we're standing in the fact that we want to grow. That's where we should be, cousins. So some of y'all have been through breakups that sound like they have, you know what I'm saying, belonged in not even a Netflix. It sounds like some of y'all been in Tubi movies, to be quite frank. And there's nothing wrong with a Tubi movie. I don't care. Don't get on here saying, what's wrong with Tubi? Your cousin Meesh gonna be the first one to tell you I love them. Okay? Tubi, keep doing your thing. But some of y'all got some crazy breakup stories or some crazy bonding experiences, and quite frankly, a lot of them were just like a little too much for me to really say on here. So I'm gonna just say this. We need to grow, cousins. We need to grow. We need to really find our deciding factor in whether we are going to still entertain toxicity or we are going to actually grow beyond that and actually find love. Do we want to find love, guys? That's what we really need to be asking ourselves. Do we want love? Do we feel like we're capable of love? We need to start asking ourselves these questions, because a lot of us are putting our hopes, our dreams, our prosperity onto the next person in the relationship when that's already creating a trauma. If you're not dealing with what you have going on yourself, you really don't need to be seeking another person to draw in the mix of your bullshit. You need to figure out you, and then you need to date. And then you need to worry about sourcing love. But if you don't love yourself first, don't source the next person, because now you're bringing other problems that a person, quite frankly, shouldn't have to deal with just because you don't know that you love yourself yet. So cousins, if this was eye-opening to you, or if you even have any insight or any backlash or anything you want to rebuttal about this, please drop it in the comments, please. So hindsight is like 2020, right? What would we do differently? If you can go back and talk to yourself about love and toxicity, would you even be in this relationship that you're in currently? What advice would you give yourself? Would you have left sooner? Would you leave? Are you in the process of leaving? Are you in the process of actually finding out how to love yourself? If this is you, if you feel like these are avenues you want to explore, or now you feel like you are putting toxicity onto another person because you don't love yourself yet, drop it in the comments, drop it in the DMs, share this with somebody you feel needs to hear this. Because a lot of us are bonding over trauma. A lot of us don't understand what true love is, and it's a lot of the times because we don't love ourselves first. So, again, cousins, this is just another deep dive into how we are growing this year. This, again, is the year of intention. Don't forget that, cousins. I'm going to keep reminding you that this is the year of intention. So this is the year that we actually say we're not going to keep just saying we're growing, but we're actually going to do the work to grow. We are going to talk about the things that aren't always so comfortable to talk about, and that's okay. Your cousin is here. This is a safe space, the unhinged safe space. Don't forget that. So that means anything under the sun that you need to talk about, that you need to be addressed, we're going to unpack it right here, cousins. We're going to do it together. And we're going to make us a cute drinky poo for the vibes, okay? So this has been another episode of Spill It with Meesh, your lovely cousin, your favorite cousin, Meesh West Co. Make sure you guys are commenting, subscribing. Make sure you guys are sharing this content because, again, you never know who needs to hear this. But always and forever, I love you guys. This has been another episode of Spill It with Meesh, and I will see you guys next Wednesday at 8 p.m.